out there. For those 60 years and older, protect against RSV with Arexvy. Arexvy is a vaccine used to prevent lower respiratory disease from RSV in people 60 years and older. Arexvy does not protect everyone and is not for those with severe allergic reactions to its ingredients. Those with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most common side effects are injection site pain, fatigue, muscle pain, headache, and joint pain.
I chose Arexvy.
RSV? Make it Arexvy.
Just let me take you to a better place.
Tomorrow on ET, new music from NSYNC, plus our Barry Manilow exclusive, the stories behind his biggest hits.
Well, it was interesting. We didn't think it was going to be a hit.
I need to know what song he's talking about. All right, before we go, Harry Potter legend Sir Michael Gambon has passed away. He died after a bout with pneumonia. He was 82 years old. And we're going to leave you with Daniel Radcliffe's memories of Michael. Good night, everyone.
Do not pity the dead, Harry.
Happening now.
4 years after he last proposed it, a Northside San Antonio councilman has a gun buyback program ready to go. This time with the help of San Antonio police. We ask, what changed?
And today is a notable weather anniversary here in San Antonio. I'll get to that, talk about our weather pattern, what it means for temperatures and rain chances in just a bit.
Most good cooks know you can't put your nice cast iron skillet in the dishwasher, but you'll be surprised to know how many other things you're not supposed to clean in there. The News at 5 starts right now.
First at 5, a teen walking home ends up becoming the target of 2 other teens who started shooting, but the suspects didn't get far. Police say they crashed into a pole while trying to get away.
It all happened just before 3 o'clock this afternoon at the intersection of Pleasant Bay and Sunset Terrace. That victim in the hospital. The suspects are in police custody. Meantime, police say they believe the victim was walking home when that suspect pulled up in a gray Jeep and started shooting. The victim was hit and then tried to run, but then collapsed.
Officers say the suspect sped off towards Highway 78 but crashed into that pole. A Good Samaritan came upon the crash scene and was unaware of what they allegedly did. She took them to an urgent clinic, then returned to the scene and told police what happened. A officer arrived at the clinic and took the suspects into custody.
The victim taken to the hospital. Their condition is unknown, and police are continuing this investigation.
The one thing I've heard from many people all over is, when are we going to do something?
San Antonio Councilman John Courage says his office is doing something to fight gun violence in San Antonio. He's planning to start buying back guns this fall using his council funds, but also soliciting for donations too.
And it's not the first time he's proposed the idea, but it is the first time the San Antonio police chief is backing the buyback idea. In fact, SAPD is going to help collect the guns.
And City Hall reporter Garrett Berger with why police are buying into this buyback now.
On November 19th, there's going to be a weapons exchange program.
Hoping to decrease the number of guns in San Antonio, Councilman John Courage is planning a voluntary weapons exchange at the Alamo Dome.
Just drive in. No one's going to ask your name. No one's going to ask where you got the weapon. No one's going to ask where you live. Simple as that.
In Houston and Harris County, more than 4,200 weapons were collected over 4 such buybacks. Courage is hoping to bag at least 500, offering between $50 and $300 per gun, depending on the type.
The councilman says they're not just going to hand out wads of cash, though, for the guns. Instead, people will get HEB gift cards.
Courage helped propose a similar idea after the El Paso Walmart mass shooting in 2019, but it didn't take off. Police Chief William McManus said at the time, buybacks, quote, just don't work. And that if one of the surrendered guns had been used in a murder,
I'm going to want to talk to that person who turned it over.
So why is his department now participating in a no questions asked event? We pressed Courage on whether it would truly be anonymous or whether police might be taking some steps to track who was dropping off what.
The police have not told me they have any intent to follow through on anything.
We emailed back to specifically ask why the chief had seemingly changed his mind about buybacks and whether this event would truly be anonymous. But the department declined to provide a written response for this story. Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
Caught on camera, a pilot loses control of his plane and crashes into a hangar at Bernie Stage Airfield this morning. All of it happening just after 8:30 near Bernie Stage Road and Haddock Way. A very close call, not just for the pilot who was seriously injured, but there's a man right there who had to duck the falling plane in order to avoid getting hit. We're told the 85-year-old pilot was doing practice flights, but we still don't know why he lost control of his aircraft. We're told there was moderate damage done to the plane and to the hangar. The FAA is on the case and will investigate.
And U.S. Army Private Travis King is back on U.S. soil, touching ground here in San Antonio overnight at Joint Base San Antonio-Lackland. KSAT 12, the only station there as the plane landed on the runway. And as King boarded the plane, surrounded by military personnel, he was then walked into a building and was reportedly taken to Joint Base San Antonio, Fort Sam Houston. The Alamo City, likely a very welcome sight for King, who spent months in custody of North Korea. According to U.S. military officials, King, quote, willfully and without authorization, unquote, crossed the DMZ line into Korea in July. With help from Sweden, King was released by North Korea and boarded a plane in China and then landed stateside. King is expected to eventually go through the U.S. reintegration process. It's unclear if he'll face any further consequences.
A local bus driver arrested and charged with possession of child pornography. 75-year-old Michael Paul Moorish taken into custody on Tuesday. According to the Texas State Attorney General's office, a search warrant was executed at his home in New Braunfels. Investigators say that they discovered images of child pornography on his computer. The AG's office says Moorish confessed to viewing those illegal files. He was a bus driver for Novato ISD since 2010 in the small town of Geronimo, located north of Seguin. In a statement that was posted online by the school district, the superintendent said he was fired once the district learned of Morris's activities and that they do not believe any of the students were involved. Morris was released from jail after posting bond, a $50,000 bond.
A shootout at a Southwest Side intersection last night leaves one man shot in the neck and another shot in the back. SAPD says a gunfight happened in the 3800 block of South Zarzamora Street, not far from West Malone Avenue, just before 1 in the morning. Investigators say the victim in this case was a passenger in a car that was sitting at a stoplight when the suspect got off a bus and ended up arguing with the victim. During the argument, police say both men pulled out guns and got into a gunfight. The victim was hit in the neck, the suspect in the back. Both men originally fled the scene, but the victim ended up calling 911 and the suspect came back to the scene asking for help. Both were taken to the hospital. Police said there are conflicting stories as to what led up to that argument and shooting.
Happening in about 30 minutes, Judge Peter Sakai hosting another community conversation. Tonight's meeting will be Sakai's third of 4 scheduled meetings. During it, you're going to have a chance to speak with Bexar County's top leader about some of the issues that you care about most. It's happening at 5:30 at the SAMSAT David Moore Education Center on Southwest 36th Street. You can read more about it on KSAT.com.
And the solar eclipse happening on October 14th is getting lots of people excited, and UTSA is working hard with Harvard University to help visually impaired people watch the eclipse with their ears. The listening device converts light intensity into sound, and it's only as big as a smartphone. It was first created at Harvard in 2017. And now through the Light Sound Project, astronomers from Harvard travel around the country teaching students and professors how to make them.
And this is a light sensor, so as we dim the light, it might happen in an eclipse, you'll hear the sound start to change. And so this might be what you hear in total eclipse, just a few clicks.
The device will be given to local organizations, and San Antonio will actually have 2 solar eclipses back to back, one in October and the other on April 8th of next year.
Around Texas, despite a crackdown by military officials on the southern border in Mexico, migrant crossings are continuing along our border. Take a look at the drone footage that was taken yesterday just as a storm was approaching. Many of the migrants seen here waiting to move into this country through razor wire. It comes after Mexico officials reportedly dispersed thousands of migrants on its southern border on Tuesday. Now, last week, Eagle Pass signed an emergency declaration after a dramatic jump in the number of migrant arrivals. Texas Governor Greg Abbott in New York just yesterday delivering a speech on the crisis in New York and Texas. Abbott telling the audience what New York is dealing with, only a fraction of what Texas has to deal with every day.
This is something that's unsustainable. I think those are the words of your mayor. Those are the words of the mayor of Chicago and LA. Those are the words of the governor of Texas. What's going on is unsustainable. It's a crisis, it's chaotic, and it must stop.
Abbott went on to say that Texas has only sent about 10% of the migrants that entered Texas onto New York.
And today, President Biden telling voters America's democracy is under attack by far-right Republicans. His message coming just a day after top Republican candidates took part in their second debate at the Ronald Reagan Library in California.
One notable absence at that debate, the current GOP frontrunner, former President Donald Trump, who instead went to Detroit to talk to auto workers. ABC's Tim Pullian with the highlights of that debate.
At the second Republican debate at the Ronald Reagan Library in California, many of those candidates attacking Joe Biden's policies on the economy and the southern border.
When Joe Biden waved the green flag, it told everybody to come. And now we've seen 6 million people cross the border.
Former President Donald Trump skipping the debate, instead opted to campaign in Michigan. Trump speaking to auto workers at a non-union auto plant, but speaking about the UAW strike and how those union workers will be out of a job due to electric vehicles if their labor demands to the big three car makers was met.
The auto industry is being assassinated, and it makes no difference what you get. I don't care what you get in the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 5 weeks. They're going to be closing up, and they're going to be building those cars in China and other places.
The third presidential debate is scheduled to take place in November in Miami. A member of the Trump campaign says the former president will not be attending that debate and, quote, that's his position until it's not. Tim Pulliam, ABC News, Los Angeles.
All righty, taking a look at TransGuide at 410 and Blanco. Lots of cars on the roadway, typical for this time of day, but things seem to be moving pretty smoothly.
Weather's pretty smooth out there today. Yesterday at this time, we actually had more rain on the radar. Today, not a whole lot. I wish we could drum up more showers. Unfortunately, we just have a few highly isolated showers out there, a few that are dissipating in McMullen County. And then you go into southeastern Kerr County, near Camp Verde here, south of Center Point. We have one lone downpour. This isn't going to last much longer. This is that 10% that we were talking about for today. And I do foresee similar conditions, but mostly along the Gulf Coast in the days ahead and through the weekend. Del Rio now 99, Eagle Pass 93, 96 in Floresville, 97 in Mico, along with Lavernia, 92 in Bulverde. Temperatures, by and large, just all across the 90s, and we'll be falling down through the 80s later on tonight. A clearing sky, east-southeasterly wind at 5 to 10. There is a notable weather anniversary today I'm going to talk about in a little bit. It has to do with temperatures, along with a potential cold front by this time next week. See you in a bit.
Cold front. Like the sound of that. Thanks, Adam. All clothes can't go in the washing machine, and the same goes for your dishwasher. What items you should never load in the dishwasher unless you want to buy them again and again.
I'm Myra Arthur here in the newsroom, and here's what we're working on for the news at 6 o'clock today. Hundreds of students unsure what to do next after the Art Institute announced it's closing. There's a local resource, though, that can help. We show you what Cafe College is all about. Plus,
law enforcement agencies bring in the cases and the district attorneys prosecute them. Different roles, but all very well connected.
so how are they connected? Who plays what role and at what stage in the criminal justice system? Given the recent back and forth between the Bexar County DA's office and SAPD, we're taking a closer look at that process. It's all in a new KSAT Explains. And flu season, air pollution, allergens. It's not a good combination for people dealing with asthma. The city is trying to help, though. We'll show you what they're doing for families who have children with asthma. That and more today on the News at 6.
Thank you, Myra. Never washing your dishes by hand may be the reason you have a dishwashing machine, but as tempting as it might be to wash everything in there, don't.
12 on your sides, Marilyn Moritz has the 5 things that don't go in the dishwasher.
Maybe your dishwasher can wash everything, but that doesn't mean it should.
There are some items that can really get ruined in a dishwasher over time.
Like cast iron pans. Hey, you put a lot of work into seasoning that pan. It keeps your food from sticking and your pan from getting rusty. But the dishwasher can strip the seasoning and leave you with a rusty skillet. Instead, Consumer Reports' Molly Bradley says try water and a paper towel. And if necessary, a little dish soap. Copper pots, Moscow Mule cups, and aluminum cookware should also stay out of the dishwasher.
The hot water and harsh detergents can discolor and tarnish copper and aluminum and dull their shine.
Copper can also get scratched, so best to hand wash. Same goes for non-stick pans, even if they say dishwasher safe. That's because dishwasher detergent paired with hot water can ruin the non-stick coating over time. So save your money and wash non-sticks with warm soapy water. And your knives for slicing and dicing can cost a lot of money, so you guessed it, the dishwasher doesn't cut it.
The handles can start to separate over time and they can get knocked around, which can dull the blade.
Wood, water, and heat aren't a good combination, which means your wooden spoons, bowls, and cutting boards are a no-go for the dishwasher to keep them from warping or cracking. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
We've learned so much.
And you said you had to do some of that yourself here in the KSAT break room.
That's right. I was using David Elder's cast iron pot for that promo, and you know what? He hadn't seasoned his pot.
Uh-oh. David, come on, brother.
Yeah, you got to get that good old butter seasoning. You can sometimes you can get the grease.
Yes.
It's complicated. You don't want to use necessarily animal fats to do it. Is that right?
That's correct. Something like that.
Yeah, I've already seasoned mine. It's been a while, but
well, then you're good.
Hopefully. All right, let's take a look at our unique weather anniversary today. Yeah, we've had 75, 100-degree days so far this year, but look at the bottom of your screen. Today, September 28th, marks the latest 100-degree day on record in San Antonio. Does that mean it's impossible to hit triple digits? Say in a few days? No, it's not impossible, but it's highly unlikely. And we don't see any triple digits in the forecast still. 90s will remain. 96 tomorrow, 93 basically this weekend into Tuesday. And then a potential cold front could greet us Wednesday into Thursday. Right now, the big question mark is the strength of it and the exact timing. Keeping us around 90 degrees for the high temperature on Thursday with the potential of that really dropping off even more. So finally, something to watch in the extended forecast, something to keep you updated on and check back in with us for the latest because the forecast will be changing. We're trying to predict a cold front that hasn't even developed. It isn't going to develop until the middle part of next week. We still have the Big Blue H starting to nose its way back into Texas. A few coastal showers today, and I think we'll have some coastal showers pop up here and there through the weekend and into next week. But overall, the upper level high really starts to take over as a big disturbance, a strong, potent upper level cutoff low drops into the western and southwestern U.S. The key is, as the upper level high breaks down next week, that's going to open the door for this trough to clip Texas, and that could be just enough to push a cold front through our neck of the woods. Now, when I say cold front, right now, I would not anticipate any big changes, maybe just a noticeable little shift in temperatures. It could also enhance our rain chances. We have 10% this weekend and Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday right now we have it at 30%, but with that caveat possibly higher. If things stay on track, we could be raising those rain chances, especially if it's a very slow moving front that just prolongs your opportunity for rain. So again, right now 30% for next Wednesday, 20% for next Thursday, but that is subject to change. It will be changed and we'll be updating it. Let's talk temperatures. 95, our high temperature today. 87 is the average, the record 104. 98 right now in Cotulla, that's the hot spot. New Braunfels 96, Uvalde 95 degrees, temperatures that we've become accustomed to. Bulverde 92 and Stinson on the south side 93. Tomorrow morning we start the day at 74. That's at sunrise. By noon we're at 89. Then back up to 96 degrees for the high temperature. A lot of sunshine tomorrow. East-southeasterly wind at 5 to 10. Floresville, Poth, 98 tomorrow. Get to Hondo, Sabinal, D'Hanis, 95, 96. Comfort, 94 for the high temperature. What we're mainly watching, again, is the potential cold front for next week, the timing, and just how strong is it? What kind of an impact to temperatures it's going to have? And by the way, coming up at 6, the new drought monitor is in and where we've seen improvements.
I'm ready for this heat
We
to
might
go
need
away.
a microscope.
I want to jump in the pool maybe once or twice more, and then I'm ready to put on a light jacket.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Football season, let's do it.
Larry, NFL is in full swing, but it's different leagues, football leagues, that are making headlines today.
Yeah, so the XFL and the USFL reports surfaced last week that they were thinking about merging. Well, today, the two spring leagues said that's pretty much what they plan to do. But what does that mean for the San Antonio Brahmas? And in the NFL, Stephon Gilmore is getting ready to face his old squad. Coming up.
Every game is personal when you're playing, so you got to prove yourself each and every week. So just happened to go against a former team that I was on for 5 years. So.
Cowboys corner Stephon Gilmore is days away from facing his former team, the New England Patriots, in big board sports. But first, the XFL and the USFL, two spring football leagues, announced today that the two plan to merge into one. The XFL consists of 8 teams, including the San Antonio Brahmas, who won 3-7 in their first season. The XFL is owned by Danny Garcia, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and Redbird Capital Partners. The USFL also has 8 teams, and they are owned by Fox Corp. KSAT 12 Sports reached out to the XFL to ask, what does this mean for the Brahmas? And they told us, quote, there is no additional information beyond today's announcement. As we noted, the agreement is subject to regulatory review. More details to come, end quote. Now, The Rock tweeted 2 pictures about the intent to merge, and he also said more work to be done.
Football coverage brought to you by Davis Law Firm.
Dallas Cowboys cornerback Stephon Gilmore is getting ready to face his former head coach and Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots. Gilmore said it's not personal to face them because to him it's personal every time he plays the game. Gilmore spent 4 seasons with the Pats, winning Super Bowl 53 with them. Gilmore, who leads the boys with 4 passes defense this season, says it's just another matchup.
It's a big game because it's the next game. They got a good football team, a great coach. So it's going to be a big challenge for us to go out and, execute how we know we can.
As for the injury report, center Tyler Biadasz was limited with a hamstring and guard Zach Martin was limited with an ankle injury. The NFL named Houston Texans quarterback C.J. Stroud the NFL Offensive Rookie for the month for September. In 3 games during September, Stroud completed 78 of 121 pass attempts for 906 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions for a passer rating of 98. Yesterday, he was asked, what does it take to grow as a quarterback week to week?
It's not really rocket science. It's what you make it your own. Everybody kind of has their own recipe for success. And me, personally, it's just my routine and learning every week for that team we're playing and just working, just working hard, just being hard on yourself, being critical, being accountable on everybody, including yourself.
Stroud and the Texans will host the Steelers Sunday at noon.
I know a guy who's going to be rooting for the Texans.
Yeah,
I'm a fan.
I saw somebody out of the corner of my eye doing this.
That was a nice touchdown
Cheering
pass, no interceptions. Even got one to U of H alum, Tank Dell. Excited to see it. Thanks for that, Larry.
No problem.
Big fan. We'll be right back.
The lone shower out there today, the one cloud that bubbled up and actually dropped a few showers. Southeastern Kerr County between Center Point and Camp Verde. Just a 10% chance this weekend into tomorrow. Some hope next week, though, by Wednesday.
Thank you, Adam, and thank you for watching the News at 5.
Tune in at 6. Thanks for joining us.